guys, welcome back to another episode. Last week we had Mark's brother Mitch visiting us, where we found some great freediving spots on Bali's north coast before going on a bit of a self-guided waterfall tour of the island. In this episode, Mitch ends his time with us in Bali and we head west to Java. But first, on our way back down the east coast, we stop in at our campsite at Padang Bai and visit a little spot known as White Sand Beach. With a full moon producing big tides and swell, let's just say our white sand beach experience was a little different than what we'd anticipated. Relaxing morning at the beach. Nothing like a bit of swell. Sorry. So 2 nights ago, Mark became another Bali statistic and was involved in a motorbike accident. With Mitch being here, we thought it'd be a good idea just to hire some bikes because it's easier to get around the busy areas than driving the car. He has been riding bikes since he was a kid, so we like to think that experience wasn't a contributing factor to the accident, though he was knocked unconscious, so and has no memory, so I suppose we won't know what really happened. He's done a little bit of damage to his face. It's all pretty superficial though, so there's no serious damage. He's lost some front teeth. He cut his bottom lip right open, so he's got internal and external stitches. And he's got some stitches on his chin and just some grazing all over in his shoulder. He's at his shoulder, his wrist, and just general grazing all over his body. We've come back to the hospital today. It's the international hospital, so they were really good. They really looked after him. They were really thorough with their cleaning and making sure that they checked every part of him. We've come back today for his checkup. They've got to do another x-ray on his hand just to make sure it's all good. And then we've got to wait for the swelling in his mouth to go down until he can get his teeth fixed. So I think we'll probably be stuck here for another week or 2, something like that. But all in all, he's a really lucky guy. It was a pretty scary night, but he's doing much better now.
Or more red. Okay, needs to be aware.
So Mark's checkup this morning went pretty well. They cleaned him all up, given a bit of a scrub down. We're just heading back to the police station now. It's a different police station than the last one that we went to because the other one just near where the crash happened. We went back there yesterday in the morning and then they sent us home to say to come back in the night, so we went back in the night. And then they said they couldn't give us the police report to go to another police station today, so it's about an hour from where we've been staying next to the hospital. So we're just on our way now. I think maybe another 15 minutes ago. We've just been having a snooze over there. But yeah, hopefully they can help us out today. After 2 painful days of trying to get our police report, we finally found the right policeman to do the job.
So it's been about 10 days now, and after eating through a straw for the first 7, I'm happy to say that we've been given the all clear and we're right to head back on the road again. I think I was pretty lucky that I was actually wearing a helmet, and the only thing that's really come out of this, well, damage, is a few scars on my face and a new front tooth. Jolly may disagree that the knock on the head had some effect though. And special thanks to Jolly, because she's been amazing through this, making me smoothies and organising the police and the hospital and the hotel and stuff, so it's been good. And to Mitch too, because he threw in the last days of his holiday and helped her. I know being back in the hospital isn't probably what he expected on his holiday, so thank you.
Mitch is a nurse.
Mitch is a nurse. So today we're heading north and going towards the ferry over to Java finally, which will be good.
So there's been a bit of a knock coming from under the car. What's going on? What have you found?
Nothing yet. yeah, I've checked and tightened everything, and I can't seem to find what potentially it could be coming from. It's coming from the front end, or feels like it's coming from the front end, and it's like you can feel it in the footwell when we're going over uneven ground or turning slowly. So nothing's loose, so it's kind of got me stumped at the moment. So we might try and find a mechanic tomorrow, and who can give me a hand, because I don't have full strength in my left hand yet, so I'm having a bit of difficulty pulling everything apart. So yeah, when we get to Banyuwangi, we'll try and find someone.
Straightforward. It took just over an hour and cost about 15 Australian dollars. First on the list for Java is Mount Ijen. It's about an hour or so's drive away, where there's a sulfuric lake up the top of the volcano, so that should be a nice little hike.
Thankfully, when we got off the ferry in Banyuwangi, there was a Toyota dealership. We're hoping they might find something I may have missed.
So we didn't really have any intentions to stay here in Banyuwangi. We were just going to go straight up to Ijen, but with the clunk coming from the car, we did have to stay an extra night because we have to go back to Toyota today. After we left last night, it was going on dark, but we managed to find a camp spot here on a beach just north of town called Chachalan, I think that's how it's called. It's really nice. You can see Bali across the strait there. There's heaps of people down here like really early, just sitting here. I'm not sure what they were doing. It's so early, like the sun, because the time went back to an extra hour to Jakarta time, so the sun was up extra early and everyone was just out and about. But we're gonna go get brekkie and then head back down to Toyota to hopefully get the car fixed.
The guys here at Auto 2000 worked tirelessly all yesterday afternoon, and we managed to find out that the noise was actually resonating through the chassis from the rear, and the bushes on the rear suspension had gone, so they've replaced those now, and thankfully the noise is gone, so we can get back on the road now. Tsuki and the guys here have been amazing. So if you're ever in the area and happen to drive your Toyota here, come check them out.
Thanks, Toyota. We just went to go and get some lunch, and this guy, a local guy, stopped us and asked to take us to his uncle's restaurant for lunch, and then on a tour of his village with some cycling and climbing up coconut trees apparently. Yeah, that's what he said. So, we're on our way. We later found out that our new friend's name is Ferry, though he tells tourists to call him George as he thinks it's easy to remember. Our meeting was a little serendipitous as Ferry informed us that Mount Ijen, which we were just on our way to see, had been closed due to the crater releasing toxic gases and has already poisoned 30 people. We googled the news straight away, and unfortunately it checked out with no indication as to when it'd be open again. Ferry took us to one of his friend's coffee roasting house, where we were able to have a go at roasting some local Arabica beans ourselves.
This is Arabica.
And these from here?
Yeah, not from Ijen Mountain, near Ijen Mountain.
Okay.
Belawan.
Yeah.
The village name is Belawan. You wanna try? Come on.
It's like a little shovel.
Use one hand.
Ah!
No.
Don't be nervous. Slowly, it's okay.
You got the hang of this. George has brought us to a waterfall just out of Banyuwangi, I said it right, called, how do you say? How do you call the waterfall?
Jagir. Jagir.
It's really beautiful. Next on February's tour list was a batik workshop. Batik is an ancient technique of textile pattern creating, which in Indonesia is most developed in Java. After our attempt at creating patterns ourselves, we formed a huge appreciation for the amount of work and skill that goes into creating these beautiful fabrics.
There we go. The masterpiece. So we've come to have dinner at apparently the place that's got the best chapchai in all of Java. Jolly and I have actually got an adaptation of chapchai with some nasi or rice. This is what it actually chapchai should look like, but it is actually pretty good with rice. It tastes more like a Chinese soy kind of chicken. Chapchai is actually kind of like vegetable soup. Yeah, really good.
So that's it for our little unplanned cultural introduction to Java and also this episode. After much request in the next episode, we'll give a run through of the trip to date, including information on costs, documentation, camping and the car. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See ya.